Some of these documents I'm seeing have turned up in litigation with the Freemans. Did you give some of these documents to the Freemans? Have you shared any of these documents with the Freemans? Or Vincent Booth, or any lawyers representing Freeman Holdings, or Scott or Chris Freeman or Vincent Booth, or John Garcia?
Again, I don't.
I just want to be specific because
I don't feel any obligation to answer that question either. I don't feel any obligation to answer that question either. I don't feel any obligation to answer that question either. I don't feel any obligation to answer that question either.
Really?
Really? But if there's anything else I can help you with, just let me know.
This is criminal, Craig. People go to jail for this stuff every day. This is criminal, Craig. People go to jail for this stuff every day. This is criminal, Craig. People go to jail for this stuff every day. I was a cop for 22 years. And
It's okay, that's why we're here. That'd be the end result. Did you say your name was Suzanne? Mm-hmm. Can you read this? Can you read that for me? And just give me your thoughts. Just.
Oh, no. I can't.
You can't?
I can read it.
Can you provide any comment just in general terms?
Nope.
No?
No.
Okay. So this is your client, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's writing an email to his brother suggesting that to a tenant on the airport and suggesting that his brother's a retired IRS auditor and he's recommending a tactic to injure me through financial means. Do you think that that's conduct becoming of an airport director?
You can ask all kinds of questions and make all kinds of accusations, but I'm not going to...
No, it's not accusations. It's actually an email. Oh, okay.
Not in this forum.
Okay. So what forum would be proper for that? Board meeting or?
I think you know the forums. You're more than happy to send any questions that you have in writing to our firm, and we'll respond to them as
You're
we
gonna
see
get
appropriate.
copies today of this, right?
Yes, most of the stuff.
most of it.
Well-
Anything you request, you have to get copies today.
Well, no, the stuff that I want copies of, we will request it, and then I have to pay him 50 cents a page. I mean, unless I thought, well, I'll talk to you about that. I've got another.
Yeah, but you need to take a picture of that then. I don't know.
I've already got this one. We got this through subpoena. Actually, the Freemans gave it up. So is that, by definition, is that the Pilot Center or is that Millionaire's building?
I call it both. I refer to it as Yuma Pilot Center, and I refer to it as the Millionaire FBO.
From attacks, like if the IRS or Arizona Department of Revenue was to come in, like officially, how does the YCAA as a public entity, how does it regard that facility?
Well, we own the facility. It is the airport's property. They don't have ownership of the building.
No, just because a lot of this correspondence from Lococo Pilkington Construction, it seems like the YCAA is intimately involved with that project, and typically, and I use Careflight as an example, when a tenant champions a contractor to build on the premises here at the airport, typically that's an engagement that is carried out by the tenant and the contractor. And it seems as though there was a triangular relationship in that engagement with that building, in so much as the airport was also involved with orchestrating the construction in addition to Millionaire.
I don't mind talking about this. Do you have a heartburn with that?
I'll listen. If I do, I'll stop you.
Okay, good. As you may recall, because you were a tenant at the time, we started the construction on that project under an airport contract. And through a design build process, we selected the Lococo Pilkington, started the construction. Subsequent to that, Dr. Stamper sold out to Millionaire.
Just on his own volition, you didn't have anything to do with that?
No. Subsequent to that, Dr. Stamper sold out to Millionaire.
Just on his own volition, you didn't have anything to do with that?
No. Subsequent to that, Dr. Stamper sold out to Millionaire.
Just on his own volition, you didn't have anything to do with that?
No. Subsequent to that, Dr. Stamper sold out to Millionaire.
Just on his own volition, you didn't have anything to do with that?
No, as I've said many, many times.
Well, you've actually testified in a deposition that you did have something to do with it.
As I've said many, many times.
Well, you've actually testified in a deposition that you did have something to do with it.
As I've said many, many times.
Well, you've actually testified in a deposition that you did have something to do with it.
All right, well, we're not gonna argue now.
Okay, well, I just wanted him to be honest. I just wanted him to be honest, that's all. But go ahead.
And so at that time, Millionaire wanted a fancier facility because now they were going to be the only tenant. And what we did is we agreed with Millionaire to, if they would fund the change orders, we would do it through a change order with Pleasanton. And so that's what we did.
Why wouldn't you just step away and let Millionaire handle it? They're big boys.
And there were a lot of reasons to go. I mean, there were reasons of both ways. We looked at it and decided it would be easier. It's our building. If somebody wants to fund improvements to a building that I own, that's a good deal for me.
So it's called both, the Pilot Center and Millionaire?
I call it both.
Okay.
Millionaire probably just calls it Millionaire.
But I noticed in the financial report, by definition, the airport views it as the Yuma Pilot Center. Is that a true statement in your financial report?
If that's what it's referred to, I guess that's what we refer to it as.
That's what it's referred to as, yeah.
But as you know, over time, buildings have a tendency to change names.
So if Millionaire goes bankrupt for some reason, does it resort back to the airport, the whole thing?
Absolutely, yeah.
No court can come in and say part of this is ours because they spent their money on part of this building?
Oh, well, who knows? I mean, if you get into something like that, I don't know what the outcome would be. But it's our building, and to the best of my knowledge, they don't retain any ownership in the lease agreement. But that's a question beyond what I can answer off the top of my head.
Did Millionaire pay for the electricity to go out to the fuel farm? Is there an electrical run out to the fuel farm?
I can't remember the answer to that. We had some kind of agreement on that, but I don't know.
No,
the details.
they paid for it. I read it through there. It's in that packet over there.
Well, it says attached you will find a scan of the signed proposal to bring hard electrical power to the fuel farm. Per our agreement, this cost will be passed along to Millionaire when complete.
Yeah, that's my recollection, but I don't remember.
So how does a competitor come to YIA if Millionaire paid for power to that fuel containment and fuel farm? How does a competitor come and put their fuel tanks there?
They moved them in, they set them down, they hooked them up.
And Millionaire wouldn't have a beef with that because since they paid to get the power out there? Really? Okay. Find that hard to believe, but we have to a quarter of, you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, these documents that you want, you're gonna pay for them today?
Well, I probably I may subpoena some of them. I've got to go back and talk to somebody. I don't know that I'm probably gonna pay you for some, but I need to talk to someone before I pay for. There's also a lot of duplicates, just FYI, and a lot of blank pages. Can I ask you another question? Did you know that the CareFlight purchase price is governed by a non-disclosure agreement? And you disseminated that out to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 people? Did you know that?
I don't think I'm gonna get into that. I don't think I'm gonna get into that.
So the guy that referred Millionaire to you filed for a $329 million bankruptcy, Rick Burton?
Oh, yeah, I saw something about that in
Okay.
April. Oh, yeah, I saw something about that in
Okay.
April. Oh, yeah, I saw something about that in
Okay.
April.
Okay, so as to afford your staff time to copy stuff, I don't want to go away with a lot today, but what I'd like to do is put something else on the calendar for a subsequent visit. a lot of this stuff, and I appreciate you taking the time to copy it. It's not really stuff that I'm going to need copies of, and I do appreciate the opportunity for you to let me come in and review this stuff, versus imposing what I consider to be a very unreasonable fee that was premature. I think we can all agree that that was the case. So I would like to make copies of just a couple things and then follow back up with you next week to determine how I go about getting copies of other things. I mean, I would say that if you just put these stuff back in boxes, I don't expect that you would have to separate. These are all just blank pages that can be reused. And then again, there's time constraints here, so I don't have a chance to kind of separate stuff. So if you want to just put them back in these boxes to be revisited, that would be my desire.
So, okay, what do you want today?
Okay, let me see here. For sure, this document here. Let's see. In fact, it's pretty interesting because there's actually copies of the same document already here. You found a lot of repeats?
As you know, when you reply to emails with history, you wind up with that kind of thing.
Yeah. You know, Mr. Dunn had gotten a copy of these things, but the quality was not legible. Yeah, we can do that, and we'll just come back. I mean, there's still more to go over. Okay, look at all that stuff. It's better quality. In fact, is there a charge to scan and email it?
Yes, 47 cents a page.
So it's 3 cents less? Really? Wow. That actually might not be, well, nah, I can scan it. Yeah, we're just going to have to come back.
You got the name to go in that box?
I don't believe so. Yeah, actually, there's some stuff. He folded the pages. I need copies of that stuff, but I don't need it today. So that can actually go back in that box.
Yeah, they're wrapping up right now.
Okay, please make a copy of that, if you'd be so kind.
get your parking ticket validated?
I have not. Oh, here.
Machine right there.
Is that it? Is it there? Or did they take it back to the front? I think Andrea may have,
Let's go to the front.
yeah, Adriana may have taken it.
I'm gonna run back.
Okay.
Before she leaves.
Sounds good.
Okay, there's 23 pages here.
Okay. What do I? Oh,
That would be,
I've got to go down to my car and get my wallet.
okay,
How much?
1150. Check, cash.
I'll write you a check. $11.50.
Check